the Good Pod, and today we're talking The Good Wife, Season 4, Episode 15, Going for the Gold. I'm one of your hosts, Jason Reed. With me, as always, a woman that I would never try to cut off at the knees, Mar Garza. Mar, you good?
You little sneak. I'm good. I'm good. I just would like the listeners to know that pre-pod, we were talking about that show, All Her Faults, that was on the Hulu or something, the Peacock.
One of those.
And how the main character's name is Marissa and she's called Mar, and no one has ever called me Mar, and I did not like the sound of Mar. So that's where that is coming from. Jason, are you good?
I'm good, Mar. I'm great.
Oh, God.
It's good to talk to you again.
Why did I say anything?
It's good to see you in this new year of our Lord or Satan, one or the other, 2026.
Our entity, our being.
Yeah. Someone's controlling this, and we don't know who. We would like them to stop, please. We are here.
3 days.
Yes. Give us a break. Give us a break. Here we are. We're almost to the end of season 4, I think.
Almost, yeah.
We're kind of going fast. I just remember the other day we're starting season 4. So here we are.
Yeah.
Fun episode, really fun. It's always fun. We got an Elsbeth joint going on. And it seems like this, for the time being, Elsbeth might be out of our orbit, but it's good to have her here when the Elsbeth show is on hiatus in the real time that we're recording this.
Yes.
But before we get into everything, let's go through some free and easy ways you, as a listener/viewer, can help this podcast. You can do that by reviewing, rating, subscribing, wherever it is you are watching or listening right now. That would be a great help to us. It helps to get to the eyes and ears of more listeners. You can also email us at thegoodpodfeedback@gmail.com if you just want to chop it up with us about the show anytime, give your thoughts, opinions about things. If you also want to help us monetarily, you can also do that through the Buy Me a Coffee link at buymeacoffee.com/goodpod. There you can, donate sums, small and large. We love the large. We also like the small. So anything you can do to help us would be great. Special shout out to Laura Morrison, who just donated over at Buy Me a Coffee not too long ago. Laura, you commented, "I love your commentary as much as the shows you cover. Thanks for the hours of entertainment you provide." Thank you, Laura, for being one of our most passionate listeners/viewers. We greatly appreciate it. With all that out of the way, Marissa, let's dive into the episode, shall we?
Oh boy, yeah, we got a lot going on. The case of the week this week was actually Eli's case again. We thought this was done, but we see Josh Perotti, aka Mr. Twin Peaks, so excited to meet Elsbeth for lunch. He's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you called. Also, we're meeting at this Indian restaurant, and also we're gonna sit on the same side of the table, and also I've ordered for you." And Elsbeth is like, "This is a working lunch." Okay.
I think it's so interesting that they cast someone to be almost as quirky and weird and interesting as Elsbeth to kind of give her a run for her money. I was like, we've never really seen Elsbeth really caught off guard a lot, really kind of unbalanced, and Josh is someone that can't do that because he's so forward, he's so weird that, but not like a he blurs that line between forward and creepy. He's not quite so creepy, he's almost there, but he's not. You can tell
there's definitely some sexual harassment in this conversation that happened.
I mean, he's walking up to the door of sexual. He's almost lightly tapping that door of sexual. We're gonna stop short. Stop short.
I actually had this happened to me, that exact comment, and I actually put it.
Which comment? Which comment?
Your lips are so pillowy.
Oh yeah.
That one.
I forgot that specific line. That's not great. That one
was not fun. But I mean, it's also this is again before me too. All this stuff. I'm sure when I was watching this in real time, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so funny." But Elsbeth is clearly uncomfortable with this entire setup from the beginning. She's just like, I wasn't expecting this, and also I'm not hungry, and also I just want to tell you, hey, I see you talking in the papers I see you bringing this, saying that there's more here. So what is it? Like, just tell me what's going on.
I guess I was kind of reading this as she was kind of tempted, to be honest. I was like,
I don't think she knows. Like, I think there's time she goes back and forth. One thing I do have a question for the Kings, whoever talked to them, was Josh Perotti ever a firefighter?
Yeah, exactly.
Because this was very firefighter / Elsbeth behavior. If you are a watcher of Elsbeth, that makes sense. But one of the things that Elsbeth does in that show is like, firefighters love redhead, like, and she's her entire life she's had to deal with like firefighters coming after her.
And in that show, anytime we come up against a firefighter or firefighters involved, they're always into Elsbeth. So that's the thing on the Elsbeth show. So that would be funny to find out that Josh had a previous career in firefighting.
But it was definitely like a similar vibe from that of what we've seen on the Elsbeth show. But the issue here is he's out there talking in the press saying like, Eli's case isn't over. I have more stuff. And Elsbeth is like, what is it? And he's like, don't worry. Like, don't worry. I figured it out. It's conspiracy. Aren't I so smart? Like, he's like, aren't you impressed? Aren't you impressed in me? Because I figured out conspiracy. And she's like, okay, well, what's the discovery on this? And he's like, well, I'm not going to give it to you. You can take me to court. He's like, oh, I can't wait till you take me to court. She's like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go now. Thanks so much.
Noted, she only has one tote bag in her possession.
She does. But she does have something in that tote bag that she pulled out. So that was a win.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's very true. And, this gets revealed as like, because there's a gossip column that Petra Moritz is who we met Petra before. I know she was like the reporter, the have it all reporter that like does all the stuff, even so much so that she's moderating the debate later in the episode. Like, wow, Petra is really a do-all for all reporter /
only one bar in Chicago, and there's only one reporter in Chicago.
I guess so. So like, this is like kind of a gossip column-y thing of like, he was found talking to somebody in a restaurant about the Eli Gold stuff. We don't know who that is quite yet, and that's what Elsbeth wants to know. Who is the co-conspirator you are saying that Eli bought these votes with?
Yes. Okay. Yes. And so Josh is like, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to take me to court. And Kalinda's like, all right, but hey, Kalinda, you want to help me with something? And we finally get to see this pairing between Kalinda and Elsbeth trying to do like some investigative work together, because Elsbeth is a pretty good investigator on her own. And so she's like trying to compare notes with Kalinda, like, what do you do? How do you plan? Kalinda's like, I don't have a plan. Elsbeth's like, what do you mean you don't have a plan? She's like, I don't have a plan. Let's find out what happens. So they're at the restaurant that apparently Josh had a lunch meeting with someone, and they want to find out who that meeting was with. And so Kalinda's whole premise here is, hi, I'm Josh's assistant, and he wanted to give his number to the wait person who took care of them on a personal matter, but can't remember the name of the wait person. And in the back, Elsbeth is like loving this.
Giggling. Yes. Literally giggling. I'm like, Elsa, this is not going to work out if you keep giggling. They're going to know something is up. And I don't know if you caught this, but the person, the hostess is like, the hostess also has like a British accent.
Yeah, she slipped into an accent.
Yeah, and I also felt like the Archie Punjabi was like upping the English accent as well in the moment. I was like, is this like an English off? What's going on here? It's just like, oh, we need to find out the wait person that was that I can't do a British accent apparently right now to save my life. But it was like, first of all, who says wait person? I don't know. It was weird to me. In the accent, it was like the wait person. I was like, okay, cool. And I would have liked, because every woman that Kalinda meets has to be into Kalinda. So I feel like they should have used that a little bit, because the story that Kalinda is spinning here was just like, what are you talking about? Like, I would have preferred that the hostess was just like into Kalinda, was just willing to give her anything besides giving this cockamamie story. Like, the guy wanted, Josh wanted to give the wait person his number for a personal reason, and we just need to figure out who that was, and we figure out who that was by who Josh was having dinner with. Now, what if the reservation was made in Josh's name? Then we'd be up the creek, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't, Jason. It wasn't. We were able to find out that this was a reservation under the name of Frank Lando, head of the DMV. So next thing we see is a very mad Eli walking down the street trying to confront Frank in front of the DNC offices. And Frank's like, yo, bro, like they're coming after me. What would you do in my situation? And then he says to Eli, like, I don't know you. And Eli swaps the keys out of Frank's hand. He's like, I don't know you. This never happened. I don't know you. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to do my job. And that's it. And Eli is not happy.
Well, Eli says, like, Frank, whatever I did wrong, I did at your prompting. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. That's kind of an admission from Eli that he's done some shady stuff. Probably, as he says, at the behest of Frank.
Frank has threatened Eli a lot of times of like, we're going to pull funding. We're going to pull all of this stuff if you don't step up and do what we want. So
if Frank saw that bus and was like, let me grab Eli and just throw him right under it.
100%. 100%. So they go in front of the judge, and the judge here again is BB Newirth, legend. No, not here. Not in this case. Not here. The judge here is a legend in her own right.
Yes.
Because she's been in the courtroom pretty much my entire life.
Yes. S. Apatha Murkerson. Yes.
Yes.
She always throws me off. Yeah, she is. She's been in the procedural game for a minute. She was the lieutenant on Law and Order for like many years. She's also on Chicago Med, Marissa.
Yep.
I think that's one of your Chicago shows. And who can forget Reba in Pee Wee's Playhouse?
Yes, exactly.
Back in the day.
Exactly. So she's there listening to this nonsense, pretty much. She's like, the argument here is if discovery is needed. And Josh is basically saying, we can't trust the Eli team with evidence. And I'm going to show you why, because I'm going to put Frank Lando on the stand. So he puts Frank on the stand. He's like, yes, I conspired with Eli, co-conspirator. So that's key for the charge. And Josh is like, and then you came to me because of your guilty conscience, right? And you like really wanted to clear your name. And then Frank is like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. And then he goes on to say that like when Eli came out or found out, he swapped his keys, and Elsbeth's like, oh my goodness.
Oh no, your keys. It's like, Elsbeth.
But this is Josh's line to say like they can't be just trusted with discovery. So Elsbeth takes this and says, okay, there are other ways to get the information I need. Hey, Frank, I know you just got back from court and you're going into your office again after coming back from court, but here's a subpoena because we are suing you for defamation. So Elsbeth's play here is to use that defamation case to get the information that she needs.
Smart. Because we have to figure out, number one, like, what is this whole buying votes thing? Because Eli for his part is like, I have really no idea what they're talking about, what this is. I got nothing. So we got to figure out what they're claiming. When did Eli buy votes? Who are they claiming he bought votes from? So to figure this out, we're going to put Frank on the stand to make him talk about what he knows, what he said, who he involved in this buying vote scheme, so we know how to play defense on this, right?
Because we already got him on the record saying he conspired with Eli.
Right. So we got to figure out what the situation is he's talking about. So, and Elsbeth, being the genius she is, comes up with like another genius idea on how to do it.
Yes. So, and it works, right? Like she goes into court and they're arguing, gets to the point where Frank's team is like, hey, we're going to move for dismissal with cause. And out of nowhere, Josh Perotti beams up like he's been waiting for this. He's like, no, you don't want to do this. And they have kind of like coerced Alicia into coming and playing like lawyer in this case. And Alicia's like, well, Josh just wants to use this for his purposes. Josh is like, no. This is the other way around. I am a USA Perotti from the Department of Justice, which gets this judge not on his side because it's like, that's great. Shut up.
Yeah, I like Judge Marks. We've seen Judge Marks before. I think he was involved in one of the Chum Hum suits where they were trying to nerd explain to him what an algorithm was. He's like, I know what an algorithm is. You don't need to nerd explain to me. So this is like really great. One of those great no nonsense judges. He's almost kind of like a Questa. Like I don't know if we're ever going to see Questa again, but he's kind of like in the Questa vein of like, don't BS me. Like I know what I'm talking about. You're not going to grandstand here. He's like, he has no time for Josh Perotti at all. He's like, I don't care who you are, where you're from. I don't care. All right. This is my courtroom.
As long as you love me.
As long as you love me, as long as you're here in my courtroom, you're gonna do what I say. I don't care about your little federal lawsuit, whatever. He has some points like, I hate the Department of Justice. You're on thin ice already, my guy.
Was like cheering so hard. I was like, yes, a judge on the stand saying they hate the DOJ. More of it. We need it. We need it. Oh yeah, this is just a TV show. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Pride's kind of on the back foot already with this here because, as you mentioned, they went to Alicia like, hey, Alicia, like, we kind of need your help a little bit. Because it's like, oh, we can't help you. It's in federal court, right? They're like, no. We're going to civil court. We're going to sue Frank for defamation. So that way he has to reveal all his information in civil court. She's like, so you want me to go in front of the court in this civil suit, kind of as a sham lawyer? Jump cut. This is not a sham, Your Honor.
It was so good.
That was so funny. So hilarious. But yeah, so like we're like, all right, Frank, what you got, babe? What you got? Come on.
And also, like, when the judge is like, shut up, Josh, she like looks back and looks at Josh. Is like, hey, got you here. Yeah. So Frank's on the stand and he's like, buying votes isn't defamatory. Like, I don't know why I'm being sued with defamation.
Well, because he says it's true. It's not defamation.
Right.
It's true. Yeah, they're like, okay, so
and what is the situation? Again, Josh can't like keep his mouth shut. So he stands up and he's like, this is gonna hurt my case. And the judge is like, I don't care. Give two shits. Like, I don't care. And the question of, okay, it could be true, but Elsbeth, like, how is it true? Like, how do you arrange the meeting? Josh is like, no, don't say it. Don't do anything. Like, giving the no. And the judge is like, Frank, you're going to have to answer this. And so he does give up the name of Hugh Saxton, who is the retirement center. I remember when Jackie was giving that speech at the retirement center, we were like, what the heck is she doing there? Well, this had something to do with it. And basically what comes out of this is that Frank says that Eli was worried about the straw poll. So Hugh had 600 seniors kind of bust in to help Peter during the straw poll. Peter, your husband, Alicia.
Oh, yeah. Frank does throw that at her like, your husband, ma'am. I do love the callbacks of like, oh yeah, like remember the straw poll? Remember Jackie being shipped off to senior citizen homes to speak, which is kind of like a punishment from Eli to be like kind of like get her as involved as he could. It was like, all right, I'll just send her to senior homes, fine. Which is like, I love the callbacks to all these things that were happening that are now going to be even more important than they were before.
Yeah, the show does a really good job. Like if you like lore, this is a good show for you because there's a lot to connect. Alicia's connecting the dots here and she is not happy. So back at the office, she's like, you packed the vote. And Elsbeth is like, whoa, let's not like have this conversation right now because anyone could be subpoenaed. And Alicia is like, I don't care. I will find some way to claim privilege. And Eli is here going, I just do what everybody does. Like, I don't understand what's going on. It just happened to be that there was like a deal for crisis management with the retirement home at the same time, coincidentally, when we were talking about having seniors bust in for the straw poll. They're not connected in any way, shape, or form. It's just a coincidence.
But I kind of would believe that because like if Eli, I don't think is it a crime to be like, while I'm here, do y'all need any crisis work or support? Which I shudder to think what a retirement home needs a crisis manager for.
Oh, I can think of some things.
Yeah, probably. I don't like those things. I don't like those things.
No, I don't like them either.
But yeah, I was like, I mean, listen, I was there. I was like, hey, while we're talking about seniors and voting, you need some crisis management help? Maybe. Sounds like
you have to like hang up the phone, pick up the phone again. Okay, now we can talk about that.
Like walk out the door and then come back in the door. Like, and hey, as I'm a crisis manager walking door to door. Just figured, I'd come talk to you guys.
Separate meeting. Separate. On your calendar that way.
The unfortunate phrase of Chinese wall is being.
Yes.
And so I don't think Eli thinks he did anything wrong here, which I just.
Well, and I think that this is also, at least what they're trying to convey, unfortunately, to the audience. Like, this is a perception of how business works in Chicago. Like, there's a lot of quid pro quo. There's a lot of, I know a guy, you know what I mean? And that is kind of true. Like, this city was built by people. They know people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's a unique situation of Chicago, but whenever it's portrayed in media and everything, it's always like, oh, there's some sort of coercion or some corruption. I'm not saying that there wasn't in our past. I'm not saying that wasn't there.
Well, there definitely was.
Yeah, I'm like,
prove that there was. Marissa.
I'm not saying that didn't happen. However, I'm trying to say that not everyone prescribes to that way of business.
Yeah. And do I think Eli tried to pack the vote?
Absolutely.
But I feel like that's kind of fair game, right? Like, as we'll see later, it wasn't exactly like that nefarious. Yes. It was just like, I just want to, make sure there are people that can get to the polling centers, right? If they so happen to be voting for Peter, great. If not, it is what it is.
Great. Yeah. So Kalinda goes and meets with Hugh, the retirement home man. And he was like, listen, I have a deal with the DOJ. Like, can't really talk about this. And while Kalinda's there, she notices there's a picture of all of these seniors in different colored t-shirts from the straw poll. So cut to going into the courtroom. They have Hugh on the stand. Elsbeth asks about these photos. And he confirms that he did arrange for transportation for the seniors to get to the poll. But look at the shirts. Everyone's in different shirts. Shirts equal the candidate which they voted for, were like petitioning for. So therefore, this wasn't a direct benefit to Peter in the straw poll.
Well, and he also admits that there was never a deal made.
Right, exactly. There was never like an actual quid pro quo that happened. Like, so this cannot be a conspiracy. So the judge, again, she's like, well, we're about to just, like, I got nothing. We're going to have to
She got the gavel raised, like halfway up. She's like about to dismiss case. Like Josh's like, whoa. Hold on.
I got one more. As much as I do not like this character, I did enjoy this little scene and her scenes in this episode.
You know, when Jackie appeared on the screen on my TV, I heard a scream that I felt like I could hear all the way from Chicago. I was like, that sounds like my friend Mar. Is that Mar screaming? I'm like, oh, Jackie! I was quite surprised. Oh, I guess I should have been surprised that Jackie popped up on the screen. Like, oh, it's Jackie. That's the other
Jackie. One. Yeah, it's Jackie. But I love how she's like walking down the street and then she like gets recognized. So she takes that in as like, oh my gosh, you know me? Like, oh my gosh, I'm so special. Of course. Like, do you need me to sign something? And he's like, you're served. So she arrives in court and Eli is like there to greet her. It's like, hey, I need to know what you're gonna say. And she's like, I'm just gonna tell the truth. And Eli's like, Alicia, like back phone to Alicia, like, hey, I need you in court. She's like, yeah, on my way.
I need the Jackie whisperer in court.
Yeah. We get Jackie on the stand and she's sworn in. And of course, she has to say that she is the mother of state's attorney Peter Florek and future governor. And I'm just like, oh my God. She does testify that she did give a speech in Northbrook. And when asked what it was about, she was like, arthritis and Jewish stuff.
Goodness.
In which she tries to explain to the court what a Seder is and what the Sabbath is. So at this point, Eli leans over to Alicia, like, she's getting me back for everything. Or to Elsbeth, like, she's getting me back. Elsbeth's like, for what? It's like, everything, for everything. And she also says on the stand, like, hey, like, Eli says it's not good for me to get involved in politics, so I just listen.
She's really twisting the knife to Eli.
I just listen. And Josh says, like, was there an agreement? She's like, and he's like, an agreement about, buying votes? She's like, That sounds about
sure.
right. That totally sounds about right.
Whatever you said, that's what happened.
Yeah. So out in the hallway, Alicia's like, we can totally impeach her because she's not a reliable witness because she had a stroke. And Eli is like, oh yeah.
Good thinking, Alicia. Good thinking.
But you got to be careful because she doesn't like talking about it and she hates me and also the Jewish stuff. So Elsbeth gets Jackie on the stand. Like, hey, so good to see you. Like, what'd you talk about in the speech? And Josh is like, why is that relevant? Like, this is nothing.
But he's like, why is it relevant that she talks about the retirement age in her speech that day?
And Jackie's like, yes, I talked about the retirement age and other things, obviously. And I was like, wait, you testified that after that speech, you had a conversation with Hugh and Eli about a quid pro quo. And Jackie, I mean, everyone on the team is like prepared to like make Jackie look like she is not a reliable witness. But Jackie just kind of like offers this up. And her response to that question is, if you say so. You know, I go to a lot of these events for my son Peter, and they kind of all just like blur together. Suffered a stroke, and Eli and Alicia are like, "Did you?" And he's like, "Did you?" And she actually says on the stand, "You know, Elsbeth, there are days where I can't even remember my own name."
I was like, "Damn,
what?
Yeah,
what surprise!"
The looks between Alicia and Eli are interesting, right? Because it's like both of them are like, wow, like we kind of like lucked out here. Also, I think it's kind of like, wow, we should kind of worry about Jackie, right? Like, we haven't paid attention to what's going on with Jackie, and this is not good.
Well, and also like Jackie used this to basically get Eli to trust her more, to put her in front of like she's basically showing him, I know what the situation is. I think she played this. I think she played this because at the end when he says, "Why did you do that?" She's like, "It's the truth, isn't it?"
I mean, I think it was a moment of vulnerability, right? It was a moment of like,
I still don't think she had the stroke.
Oh my God, you're still on that? You still don't think she had the stroke after we saw her see non-existent cockroaches? You are still like, nah, she's faking it. She's faking. I thought this was just a moment of like vulnerability of like, I think she got caught kind of flat-footed to be like, listen, I don't want to do the facade anymore. I got problems. Like, I can't remember stuff, this and that. I don't think there was anything that's like bail Eli out. I thought it was just like a moment of like, listen,
I watch and see what happens because I have a feeling she will be like, "Hey, Eli, remember that one time I did that thing on the stand? Remember that?"
I don't think there's ever going to be like a non-moment where she's like, "Hey, I helped you. I kind of helped you out." But I think in this moment, it was like, I can't even fake the fuck no more. Like, there are problems. I can't remember nothing in the speech. I can't even remember that day. I can't even remember my own name half the time. So it's just like, I think whoever is questioning her at the moment, because you saw when Josh was questioning her, she was just like, yeah, yep, whatever you just said, sure. Like, she doesn't even know what to do in this moment.
Yeah, but she really leaned in there by saying there are days where I can't even remember my own name. I think she may have pivoted in that like she is smart. The thing about Jackie is that she's annoying.
Yeah.
But she is smart and she knows how to manipulate things in such like to her favor. And so I think she saw what like an opening in terms of what she could do, because Eli's response, like his head goes down. He's like, "Oh, she got me." Like, crap.
Rebuttal, Your Honor, rebuttal. I think if Jackie was that smart, she would see this as an opportunity to like.
But she did.
To get Eli out of there. Like,
no,
I get Eli sent up the river for
she knows that Eli is what Peter needs to become governor, and that's all she wants in this life is to be the mother of the freaking governor.
I think you're giving Jackie more credit. I think you're giving her more credit she deserves. But I also thought like when she goes, "That's the truth, isn't it?" Like the truth of like, I can't remember my own name sometimes. I think Eli in that moment is like, "Oh yeah, I've been picking on an old infirmed lady." Like,
I don't know. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. I will always.
Listeners, watchers, you give us your opinion on
let
this.
Us know.
Are you team Jason, aka Team Right, or are you team Mar? Leave in the comments.
Objection. First of all, the counselor is not even using the correct name of the opposing counsel, and also, he is influencing and intimidating the jury. So therefore, I move for dismissal. I'm right.
No,
okay. Anyway, so Elsbeth.
Leave in the comments. Hashtag Team Jason. Hashtag Team Mar. Okay. Jason, Jason, Mar, Mar. Team Jason.
ISSA. Mar. MARISSA.
Mar.
Marissa. Issa. Judge says, okay, well, Jackie's testimony is out and Frank's testimony isn't enough, and I have no choice but
she got the giveaways again. Midway up.
Josh is like, I can get you another witness in 24 hours.
Oh my God, here we go again.
So Elsbeth is like, fine, we still got this defamation suit. I'm gonna put you on the stand, Mr. Formidable Josh Perotti. Like, let's get you on the stand. And Josh is like, all of this is being used to obstruct a federal case. Again, the judge in this case is like, I don't care. I don't care. If it isn't true, isn't it true that you failed to prove this in federal court? Like, he's like, yeah, for the moment. And so doesn't that mean that Frank was disqualified as a co-conspirator? It's like, yeah, but I'm not going to say anything. And the judge again is like, you're going to have to say something. And he names Diane Lockhart.
Gasp.
So they put Diane on the stand and they're like, hey, did you initial this invoice? And she's like, yeah. And Josh is arguing here that like under coercion, it's either about services offered or services received. And this is about services offered because there was a discount on the bill too.
Well, specifically for Eli's services.
Yes, exactly. And she answered yes, that she initialed it. But then she was asked, did you approve it? And she said, no, I did not approve it because my supervisor approved it. Clark to the rescue again here. Yeah. Because Clark told her to sign it because, discounting services was part of Clark's way of getting revenue back into the firm and everything. And so Elsbeth walks away with the win here, and Josh is still pursuing her at the end of the day, saying, hey, do you want to go to dinner? And Elsbeth's like, nope. Well,
she thinks about it for like a long beat. She's like, and she's like, no.
Good. I'm glad for this. Good for you, Elsbeth, but also it was fun to see her spar with Josh. So hopefully he comes back. I don't know. But it looks as though Elsbeth has at least put this case to bed.
For now, for the time being. I think this is probably the last of this specific thing. Would you like this? Has Kyle MacLachlan been on Elsbeth yet? I'm trying to remember. Like,
no.
Has he been cast as a murderer, as a different character?
No.
I mean, I think this would be a really fun callback to be made via Elsbeth to have Kyle MacLachlan come back as Josh Perotti, and spar with Elsbeth a little bit. I know you got the creepy vibes from him in this appearance, but
it was also 2012. Like, I would like to see if he has grown as a human. As a character.
I would just love to see people interact with people as weird or weirder than Elsbeth in that world. Like, damn, Elsbeth, we thought you were weird. This guy's also super weird.
It would be interesting if she had to prove that he didn't do something. And not like he did do something, but like he didn't kill someone, or I guess it would always be kill someone because that's all they do on that show. But yes, something like that. So that was the main case of the week. We have a couple of other things going on in this episode, including the debate that were going on. We saw that Diane was helping with debate prep, which was a little surprising. She was acting as Maddie to Peter as they were preparing. And Peter is like, okay, like, I don't know. Ever since they changed these debates so that they're like town halls and like walking around, the body placement of the candidate on the stage has become a thing. Like, you could see this in the Hillary Trump debates. Like, Trump would like come up to Hillary and be like overtowering her because he wanted to show that he was, blah, 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 this big manly man, and like all those bullying. And basically Jordan is like, hey, you're kind of doing that. Like, you're kind of looks like you're bullying Maddie here. Like,
yeah, this is the pre like Trump Hillary debate, preview. I do love Diane, who this is an interesting pairing that we don't really get a lot. We don't really think about a lot. It was like Peter and Diane here, like in the same scene interacting. We don't get that a lot. And I love in the beginning of the episode where Diane is like watching a Maddie press conference, and Maddie's like trying to get at Peter's diversity, and Diane's like mocking Maddie, like she's like diversity is baby. It's like, Diane.
Well, I didn't know, like, we didn't know where that was going, but now we know that she was there, like, also watching that to prepare for her rehearsal.
And also it makes sense to me now because I'm just rethinking back to when like Diane interacted with Maddie a while back, and Maddie was like, yeah, give me Alicia instead of you. It's like, exactly. Oh yeah, that's why Diane hates Maddie, which also may be the reason she decided to, you know, go ahead and do this for Peter, which is like kind of be a kind of sub for Maddie.
Yes. While she's there, she also sees this as an opportunity to kind of say, hey, Peter, aren't you looking for like a new firm to take over your civil cases? Because apparently the bankruptcy bug is going around Chicago and a bunch of other firms are closing. So we'll talk about what happens with that follow-up. But she does take the opportunity to feed the idea. And Peter's like, I'm going to tell him you're interested. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. Also, I'll be like, hey, but do you also remember when you were a state's attorney, you tried to like make us turn over all of our stuff because you hated Will? Remember that?
Yeah, exactly.
You owe us one. I think you owe us one, bro.
Exactly.
But like, I thought it was a fun sparring match in this faux debate with Diane, because Diane as Maddie is like, oh, because we hear Peter at the end of his little monologue be like doing his Peter thing. I can tell you.
Oh my God, I couldn't.
Gone to prison under false corruption charges.
One time.
I take it very seriously. I'm like, okay. And Diane rightly being like, oh, you hate corruption, huh? How about your guy Eli right now who's facing corruption charges? It's like, ooh. And she really kind of gets Peter's goat in this moment and be like, and gets him flustered.
Yeah, you can tell that like Diane was definitely a debate kid. Like she loves it. Okay, so then like Peter and Alicia are like doing their thing in the trailer or whatever, and like
I know you love it.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about why Alicia was all worked up, but she goes there and Peter's like, do you want to have dinner? And she's like for the campaign? He's like, no, like with me. Like
this was so funny because
on a date.
Because all right, they just finished banging in the bus. It's just like, okay, cool. Alicia's getting dressed, and Peter's like, she's like, hey girl, like you want to go out and like do something? She's like, why? For what? Like,
it's great. I love that part because Peter is like down hard, right? Like he is
down bad. He's down bad.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God, please just go to like this means that we're together. Like he in his mind, he's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna marry her again. Like we are so in love. We are so here, and she's just like, I was here for the thing.
At least that was it. I am using you, my G. But she's like, oh, it's like a date. He's like, no. He's like, I mean, but yeah, like a date. And she's like, oh. Okay, I guess so. Wasn't really thinking of you as like a relationship partner right now, but I mean, I guess sure. I like love that. I love that he wants it way more than she wants it in this moment of like.
Yes.
I love that he's having to chase her, which is like in the beginning of the series, it almost felt like he took this relationship for granted, and then he lost it, and now he's like desperate to like get it back.
Well, because she's only given him one thing. Yeah, and he's got to find out about the others. But in this, then he turns to debate strategies like, well, you know, Jordan's telling me like that I look like I'm bullying Maddie on the stage. What do you think? She's like, I don't think anything. I think you got to call Eli. Like, well, I haven't been talking to Eli. She's like, I know. You got to call Eli. So he does call Eli in front of Jordan during debate prep, which was a little bit ballsy.
Listen, you can't be calling your sneaky link when your person's right there. Like that's come on, Peter. You can't do that.
Well, and he and Jordan like listen, you can't there can't be two captains. Eli would tell you the same thing. You can't do that. But then he goes a little far. He's like, hey, do you trust me? Like, yeah. Well, give me your phone. And Peter's like, I trust you, but like I need my phone, bro.
It's never good when they ask to see your phone and you be like, no, you can't see my phone. Like, what are you using my phone for? It's like, ooh, no. The first instinct is, here's my phone. Here you go. Yeah. It's never good when you ask for the phone. They're like, why? For what?
Yeah,
I don't do anything. And Jordan's like, to quote a famous, he doesn't say it, but like, to quote a famous movie that's going to come out pretty soon. I'm the captain now. Oh man.
So, that's what's going on pre-debate, and then we get to debate day. And Alicia's just like walking backstage, and Maddie's like, wrong side, you're on the wrong side of the building, you should go over there. And this isn't gonna work. If Jordan sent you over here to like mess with me, it's not gonna work. And I have to say, Alicia's line here of people always ask if women and men can be friends, but the real question is, can women? Totally true. Totally true.
Really?
It is hard. It's Mean Girls is a thing for a reason, and there is so much internalized misogyny within women that sometimes being friends with women, helping women is, I mean, there's a whole reason why there's like a whole campaign around like women help women, like that's what women do, because we've been trying to compete with each other for all of this time and trying to like one up and doing all this stuff to get attention from men, all this stuff. I could write a whole paper on it, but I was like,
I bet you have. I bet you
yeah,
was like
in my head.
In your files.
Yeah, somewhere. With my fountain pen. But like Alicia's like, what are you like? What? I'm just here. Like, of course I'm gonna be here. My husband's here. Like, I'm gonna be here.
I did not think that was going to be your position on this. I was thinking, when she said a line, I was like, "Ooh, Marissa gonna get her for that one." Because like I thought you were like, "Of course, women can be friends." What are you crazy? I thought that was gonna be your thing, but you're like, "Nope, dead on." Because it's kind of like I was like, "Oh, Alicia, come on, of course women can be friends," but you're like, "No, definitely not."
Well, not when there's power in play, not when there's sex and like some sort of sexual like power, like I don't know. It's like very few women can be friends with the ex of the person that they're dating unless that person was really horrible and like they bond over the hate for that person. But when there's power involved, it's really, I just know that in my career when I was in corporate working for women and being helped by women was not as frequent as it could, I thought it did, especially when I worked for an organization that was founded around the fostering of girl leadership,
and
that also sells cookies.
It kind of makes sense for Alicia for sure in this show, in this series, because let's look at the track record, right? She had some friends in her wives circle back in the day. Yep. They all left her when this whole scandal broke out at the beginning of the series. Yep. Those friends are gone. She had Kalinda as a good friend, and you see how that turned out. That's gone. We had Maddie, who apparently Maddie was just using her to pump her for information. That's gone. So I think Alicia is founded, right? See? in her kind of thought here of like, no, women can't be friends, because every woman friend I had turned out to go way wrong.
Well, and like those friends in the neighborhood were probably friends with her because of her proximity to power.
Yeah, Peter. Power. Yeah. So I guess in her case, in her specific case, this makes sense. But the thought of it to me when she said, I was like, oh, come on, that's so stereotypical. That's so like women can't be friends. I'm like, of course women can be friends. And then I get on with the person like, no, they cannot.
No, I mean like you can't. But like again, power, like the power thing is like, will I do something to help advance a woman over me? Yes. Am I like a lot of women? I don't know. Like I think there's been a changing of the tide, especially in 2012. That was not the culture. I think we have moved to a culture of women helping women. It just wasn't there. And I guess we're in 2013 in the show right now. Well, but
Marissa, I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you're all for empowering women.
Yeah.
Giving women a hand up in the job structure.
Where are you going? What are you going to do? Where are you
Jennifer,
going with this?
I hired an intern. Jennifer, come on in.
Okay.
Jennifer, come on in. This is Marissa.
Would you like to learn about podcasting? I'm more than happy to help you.
And she's
break into the podcasting world.
She's gonna sit in a couple episodes. You know, she's gonna. I mean, she might like guest co-host sometimes when you're too busy. You know?
I have so much fun putting those episodes up without me. Like, I think that's so great. I think I'm all for more women voices on podcasts. Believe me, that is something I am all for.
Yes, I just wanted to mess with you a little bit.
I was like, oh wait, no.
Always turning tables, forever turning tables.
Yeah, so I mean, interesting comment. I would think like Also, I'll toss this one to the listeners too. Do you think that the culture has changed if you identify as a woman between the early 2000s, mid the 2010s, whatever you want to call them, and now? Because I think back then it was definitely like, and even like we see this with Diane too on the show as well. Like Diane doesn't have a lot of women friends. Like she's definitely, always climbing a ladder, doing something to try and get, again, proximity to power.
Yeah, and we've seen her have that struggle of like uplifting women, but like not above me though. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, welcome, Alicia. I'm so glad. But also, you're gonna have to pay your dues, and you're gonna have to like. I'm not gonna try to make it easier for you because you're gonna have to go through the same exact thing that I did.
I'll uplift women to right under my level.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we can be like, as long as they can see the top of your head, we're cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so debate night, and Maddie is leaning in on immigration, and I don't know, like Peter says this stupid lines like immigration is a complex issue, which is a way of not even talking about it. And then he says we are Illinois, not Arizona, meaning we're not a border state. However, we do have a lot of immigrants, which make our state great. But anyway, Maddie takes this as an opportunity to lean in, and it's like, okay, well, I'm so glad you found the Latino vote. Like, how many? Let's talk about the diversity of your office. And he's like, yeah, I'm working on it. And she's like, yeah, but you knew about this. This was brought to your attention 2 years ago, and you haven't done anything. And backstage, Jordan's like, how'd she know that? She's like, for me, she's using all this stuff for me.
Which again, I mentioned this last episode. Like, how much did they talk? Like,
yeah,
when they were friendly. Like, Maddie's like, by the way, girl, just us two girls here gabbing over wine. What's your husband's like diversity rate?
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to Maddie have been like super like trying to hide it, but not really. Like, so how many African Americans would you say Peter hires, girl?
I mean, if this was
girl talk,
like in the 2024 campaign, it would be like, and in the office we have all of the non-white state's attorneys in the. Would you please stand up so that everyone can see?
It's like, what percentage would you say your husband has like non-white workers? And just you and me just talking, just girls.
I mean, she could figure that's probably public knowledge, but yes, I mean, they like, who knows what the heck they covered a lot of ground. They covered a lot of. The 2 years that she knew about it 2 years ago, that she got from Alicia.
Well, Alicia's like, she got that from me. It was like, what, y'all just are gabbing about your husband's like hiring practices? Like,
I mean, also weird. Alicia, maybe you don't need to be talking about that.
Yeah, probably not.
And you can see here, like, Peter is trying to follow Jordan's instructions, right? Basically, just make it to the end. You just by being yourself, you're gonna be okay. But he is like not fighting back. He's kind of just sitting back, and Maddie is like up in the camera saying like, I will fight for you, Illinois. Like, this is what I will do.
Petra's here like, Peter, do you want to say anything about what she just said about your hiring practice? He's like, no, I don't think I will. It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah. So Jordan's like, this is great. All we need to do here is like mostly good.
Yeah,
mostly good.
Because Peter comes off stage, he's like, I mean, it's like a break. Peter comes off stage, she's like Alicia, like, what's going on? What's that? Am I doing okay? She's like, mostly good. Jordan's like, that's what you want, mostly good. It's like, okay, bro.
Well, he's like he's not wrong. Like, Peter has a position in the polls. He doesn't need to like blow her out of the water or anything like that.
Yeah,
he needs a mostly good. However, Alicia knows that this is not in Peter's character, and this is definitely not the advice that Eli would be like, say, lean into who you are, not just like float through this debate. Yeah. So Alicia's like, Jordan, I have a question for you. Peter, go call Eli, like right now. Go do it. So Peter uses his 3 minutes, gets Eli on the phone, and Eli has like very sound advice, especially for someone who knows Peter as well. Like, you bland out when you don't punch back. Like, no one's really gonna pay attention to you. Like, you're gonna disappear on the screen. And he's like, yeah, but Jordan tells me like I can't get next to him or next to her because it'll look like I'm bullying. Like, just don't get in the frame. Like, you have to be aware of the camera, not just the people in the audience, which I think also shows how experience plays into this. Like, Eli is thinking about cameras. Jordan was basically thinking about the people in the room. Like, there is still that experience gap between the two of them. And at the end of this conversation, Peter's like, man, Eli, I forgot about how good you are at this. And Eli's like, thanks. Like, I really miss you calling the shots here. And Eli's like, I miss you too, bro.
It's such a tender moment. It's like, man, I miss you so much, man. It's like, miss you too. I miss you too. It was like, yeah, I miss working for you. He's like, I miss you.
Like, it's basically like Alicia and Peter, right? Like Peter's like, I want everything with you, and Alicia's like, I just want sex.
I don't want that.
That's it. And this whole conversation is happening while like Josh is on the stand.
Yeah.
Eli's case. So there comes an opportunity in the debate where Maddie says, you have spent the last X amount of years being a politician, and I have been a business owner, and that's what makes me different. And then Peter, like, it's like a superhero, like, pause, you know, where it's like, do I do the thing? Am I going to do the right thing? Blah, blah, blah. So he stops and then he gets up and he's like, speaking of being a business owner, you closed up shop in Schaumburg, which shout out Schaumburg. And then you outsourced a bunch of your other stuff. She's like, oh, wait, like, I didn't do that. I also created a bunch of jobs and all this stuff. Like, well, you also union busting. Like, that's not cool, especially in the state of Illinois, big union state, big union town of Chicago. It's not great. And Jordan's like, what is he doing? She's like, he's trying to win. And what I loved at the end of the scene, even though I hate Peter, is at the end, Maddie's like, wait, I thought this was the question about something, not about me. And she's like in the center of the frame, and you see Peter walks behind, sits on his stool, and is like really like leaning to get into the frame.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. And at the end of the day, it looks like the public agrees that Peter won the debate, and Eli's packing up back at the office because he's a liability at this point, and Christine was going to use all this stuff. And Peter's like, do you want something sentimental?
It's like, I don't care, bro.
Here's a handshake and a hug.
And a handshake and a hug. He's like, oh, we back.
I gotta say, it's no Bartlett for America. If you're a West Wing fan, you get it. But, you know, here's the other thing. He does say, like, I can't get to Springfield without you. And Eli's like, or Washington. And I'm just like, oh my God, please no. Please no. Please no. But Eli ends up staying. He ends up unpacking, like we knew he would. But
yeah, I mean, you know, because like Eli won, right? Eli and Peter both get wins here, but Eli is just like, yeah, I guess I technically won, but it's like there's still stuff in the air about me, and like he doesn't want his bro Peter to suffer for his stuff. Peter's like, I don't care, bro. I need you. Just snotty. Just
well, he's basically saying like Christina's going to use whether you're working for me or not. So you might as well.
Well, I mean, Christine's going to use the Eli stuff
no matter
one way
what.
or the other, even though he won. But the charge, the accusation is still out there. That's what Eli's saying. Like, he's going to use that. He's like, I don't give a crap. I need you, bro. Get back on board, baby. Here's a hug to cement this thing. Yeah. So yeah, Eli's back, baby. P-tie.
No.
Eliter. Eliter is
because
back.
They think they're so elite.
There you go. I like that. Eliter is back for good. The Bash Bros are back, baby.
Oh boy. We also have a couple other things before we wrap up this episode. One I want to talk about with you, Jason, is the fact that Alicia and Will had colds.
Bruh, that was freaking hilarious. And the fact that the cold lasted like half the episode and then they were both just fine was funny. But just the fact that like, because Alicia comes to Diane's office, it's like, hey, what's up, girl? It's you. It's like, okay, you got a problem. Will comes in. He's also got it. I'm like, oh my God. This is so funny. Y'all caught the same cold because y'all been swapping. Y'all swap spit for like a second and you caught a cold.
And like post 2020 me is like, stay home. And
yeah,
like, don't come to work. stay home. And Diane is like, don't go anywhere near me.
Diane doesn't even clock it. Diane's like, oh, you guys stay away from me. Like, no, more like y'all should stay away from each other. Like, she's like, no, stay away from me with your colds.
But so remember they had the kiss and they're like, we can't be next to each other, blah, blah. There was a scene also where they found themselves in an elevator. And Will's like, don't worry, Alicia, it's fine. We're not going to do. Also, like, I don't understand this elevator ride because right now they really only have one floor. And like the elevator opens and Alicia sees Will and she's like hesitating to get on in the elevator. And so she gets on the elevator and Will's like, cool, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. And then she leaves the elevator and he stays on the elevator.
Yeah, where are you going?
Where are people going? Like, I don't understand this at all. But I'm always, my interest is always peaked when Alicia and Will are in an elevator for sure.
Yeah, I loved when Alicia get on like the elevator. Like this is right after she's dealt with the other A and B plots. Like they hit her 3 times in a row with the A B plot, and then boom, Will's here in the elevator. She's like, oh crap, I gotta deal with this again. And then like Will's like, listen, I know. Last episode we said we had to totally avoid each other, which was just nonsense. It's like now he's like we just can't avoid each other. Like it's too much. Yeah, it's like a really tense moment. And it's right after this that Peter and Alicia are banging in the bus.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So this tells you is like when I have a Will temptation, I need to go banging out with Peter.
Well, where there's a Will, there is a way.
Where there's a Will, there's a Peter. Because like in order to get my tension and sexualness out. Yes. I need an outlet. That outlet right now is Peter because Peter is the only kind of real acceptable person I can bang it out with right now.
Well, and Peter's just like, oh my God, she loves me again.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
Oh, poet.
It ain't you, my guy. It ain't you. It ain't you. She's thinking about. Which we were debating. The other episode about like because we had that little flash of something, and then Alicia's like all verklempt in the morning. We're like, what was that? Was that a dream? What was it? I'm thinking it's a dream about
Will. Always. Yeah.
Still thinking about Will. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I told you they were on a bed. They weren't in a bathroom. Like, that is how you know.
The bed is reserved for Will. Yes. So, yeah, that was freaking hilarious. To have this cold shade between them. It's like, oh, you gave me your cold. and the looks between them of guilt. Of like, oh, I gave you my cold. Oh, shit.
Like, oh crap. Yeah. Well, and Alicia, like you had mentioned, is really getting put through the ringer in this episode as well because Diane has kind of said, oh, welcome, you're an equity partner now, so great, so good to have you. Here's some responsibility. You have to look at the Bishop case, and we are charging too much? I think we might be charging too much. Like billables are high, billable hours are high. Why don't you go look into that? So this puts Alicia in this very awkward position of going to work with the Bishop team, who is being headed by no other than Carrie Agos. And Carrie's like, I got everything prepped. We're here. And Alicia walks into the meeting and she's like, but do we really need all of this? And Carrie's like, well, we voted on it. Like, we're ready to go.
This is so funny for many reasons, right? Because like Alicia walks in the room and Carrie's like, oh, hey, everybody, Alicia just got named to partner. Let's give her a round of applause.
Give her a round of applause.
Everybody like golf claps for Alicia. And she's like, yeah, great. Do we like, is this all necessary? It's like, I mean, you thought it was necessary like 2 days ago when you were just in here with us. Like, he's like, because she's like, we don't need this and then she's like, but you came up with that. Like, that was your idea. Like,
well, and then it's like, maybe there's like a more conservative way that we can approach this. And Kira's like, do you want to head that up? Yeah, and Alicia's like, I guess so. Yeah.
Do you want to do that, Alicia? Do you want to do all the stuff you're talking about here? It's like, since you're hassling me about this, and because Alicia's like, yeah, we need to take off one of these motions. Kira's like, okay, let's vote. Who thinks we should get rid of one of these motions? No one votes for it. And Carrie just kind of stares at Alicia like, what now?
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
And like this is the great thing about making Alicia partner is pretty much the like silent face-offs with Carrie and how this is gonna go.
Yes. Yeah. And basically Diane, again, in her mentorship of women, is basically like, Alicia, you need to assert your authority here. And Alicia Alicia's like, look, we don't like, we need all of these things. It is my authority to tell you that we need these things. Like, I don't know what else to do. And Diane's like, no. Your authority, what we need to do here is find a way to cut 10% of billable hours.
Respect my authority. And it's like, it's a classic, because I've been in this position, right, where you get promoted from one level to another, and now you have to interact with your one-time peers and be like, and you try to speak up for management, like, no, man, you don't understand. You're management. Like, this is all needed. Like, no, you're management now too. So you got to understand that you got to figure out a way to make it happen.
Well, and yeah, like, I was really surprised that she didn't say, hey guys, this is what I'm being told by management. How can we collectively come up with this? Like, how can we change the thing here? Because she said her whole thing to Carrie was, I can fight for you, right? Like, I can fight for you. I could do all this stuff, which is classic. We knew how this was going to go. But she does it. She takes this like authority. And so afterwards, she's like, okay, fine. I have to cut 10%. I don't really want to face Carrie again. I don't want to be in that weird position. I'm just going to cut my own hours. And Diane is like, that is not good, Alicia, because clients like to see partner hours on their cases. So like, you're going to have to like figure this out. You cannot pretend that you are their peer anymore. It's galling to me and it's galling to them. And I was like, whoa, Diane, like, this is definitely, like I said, a very patriarchal way of management. I would be all like, hey guys, we have a problem. How would you like to solve it? Like, together.
Yeah, but that's not I agree with Diane here. Like, you can't work with them like that. You can't be their buddy while being their boss, because that is a very buddy way of like, hey guys, like, I'm really getting put out here. What are you gonna do? Because they're gonna take advantage of you in that way. You're friends, but at a certain point, they're gonna try to take advantage of you, and you have to, like,
right. That's how this, like, what I'm arguing is that the system is wrong, and we should have a way where that is how problems are solved, as opposed to being in a hierarchical.
I mean, I'm more on the Diane side, because, like, yeah, you can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be the boss and also be the work friend. You have to put your foot down in some way, because, like human nature is, if you are buddy with your subordinates, they're going to take advantage. It's not a bad person thing. It's just human nature. If they see a way to like get what they want through their friend that's their boss now, they're going to do it. So you have to kind of cut it off.
I think there's like a difference though between being buddy with someone and then also saying like, hi, I'm in the room where this decision is being made. I want your voice to be heard. What do you think about the situation? Give me information to take into consideration when I'm making this decision. It's really like, this is why I did not work in corporate. Like, this is why this is not where I put a lot of my stuff. But I do think there is a way, not that you can play both sides, but a way that you can, and not be their friend, but take into consideration their thought and feelings. It's a slippery slope, and it's not easy to do. And I'm not saying that it's like the best way to do business or anything like that, but I'm saying there has to be a way to do it differently.
Yeah, but someone like Diane doesn't want to hear that.
She doesn't. No, exactly. Neither did any of my bosses or any of my other people.
She only wants to hear,
for sure,
I've cut the hours. She only wants to hear, I've saved money in this way.
100%.
And so that's where Alicia finds herself. She finds herself in that like really like crappy, sticky, like gray area of having to supervise your one-time peers. That this is a perfect encapsulation of that conundrum that's many people have been.
Diane knew she had to do this early to Alicia to like break the bond. And in the end, Carrie sees Diane having this conversation with Alicia in their office, and he goes back to the team. He's like, well, the team's like, did Saint Alicia sign off on this stuff? Like, well, don't get on her bad side or whatever. And Will pops in. He's like, hey, just checking in, make sure everything's going okay, And it's like, yeah. And don't worry about the bill thing because Alicia cut her own hours. And everyone's like, oh.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this because as Carrie and all the associates are like complaining and bitching about Alicia, I feel like Will overhears them bitching about Alicia. And he's like, as you say, he like pops in like, hey guys, that woman you all were just complaining about, that you were all just bitching about, she cut her own hours, took money out of her own pocket to give to y'all. Okay. Like, I thought that was Will's way of being like, watch yourselves. Okay.
Yeah. And Carrie takes that as like, oh, she did it, right? Like she stood up for us. Yeah. So he goes back in. He's like, hey, we're good, right? Like we're good here. And Alicia's like, I got notes for you on how you're doing the case, and we need to have this ready at this time. So she is finding a way because Carrie has brings up to Alicia during this entire time, like, it's not cool that you tried to cut our hours because it doesn't make me look good in times of promotion, and I don't want to have the rug pulled out for me for the second time, Alicia. Like
more like a third time. He's already had it pulled out 2 times. It's like, ooh.
Yeah.
I love that. I was like, I want to have the rug pulled out for me again. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
how you really feel, Carrie?
At the end of the day, I think she is finding her way to assert her authority. And she's just going to have to find a way to do that, and maybe also be on good terms or not friends or whatever. She's still navigating those waters with Carrie.
Yes, for sure.
The other thing that happened, again, jam-packed episode, was Will went to bid for the business of the state's attorney's office in civil cases. And I loved this entire thing because Will goes in. Of course, he's like, Will turned up to 11. He's like, I know I only have 30 minutes, but I could talk about this for 30 days. Like, this is like all this stuff. Any questions? And everyone's like, no, it's great. Like, and Geneva Pine herself, she's just like, this is fantastic. Great presentation. You can go. Like, great. And also we have in the room Amanda Peet, whose last name is Herringer in the show, but
Laura Hellinger.
Laura Hellinger.
Great. What's such a great last name? If I ever like write any piece of fiction or anything, I'm naming somebody Hellinger.
She's like, I actually do have a question. You work for Lamont Bishop, like the drug guy? It's like, how is that going to work? Working for the state's attorney and like one of the largest drug dealers in Chicago. Like, there's this thing that we on the Good Wife, not we on the Good Pod, like to say exists, called the Chinese Wall. Don't worry about it. We won't, like, the streams will not cross. We'll stay on our side of the fence whenever we're dealing with stuff. Laura's like, that's not cool. Will takes this entire thing because he's walking out of there thinking Geneva was a yes and Laura was a no. And so he goes up to Laura afterwards, like, what am I missing about this? Like, why did you do this? Why were you so hostile? And Laura's like, you idiot. Geneva was against you. And I was asking the question to help you out so that you could explain yourself. I was like, no, she was being polite, you idiot, you dork. Like, I'm trying to help you. So he like walks away, but then he comes back with a bottle of wine and Laura's like, I accept your apology. I forgive you. And he's like, I wasn't apologizing for anything.
Like, did I say I was apologizing?
So it looks as though there's some vibes still going on with those two. In the end, the firm did lose or did not go further in the bidding for the state's attorney's civil cases. Surprise, surprise. But it looks as though there might be something more for Will and Laura.
The looks that they give each other all the time, the little bantering they got going on, like every time they're together now, it's like, all right, y'all, just effing get it over with. Come on now. Now it's gonna be real interesting once that does start and how like Alicia's gonna feel about this, because
like Will will have a cold and Laura will have a cold, and then Alicia will be like, what?
Hey, both y'all got cold sores? What's going on?
Yeah, we will see.
Great episode. Really enjoyed this episode. It was fun time. We got Elsbeth, we got Peter and Diane, and Will and Hellinger and Alicia.
Everybody.
So much. A lot was going on. Marissa, now that we've got the episode done and dusted, you want to tell the folks out there where they can find you online, what you're up to? Big news on the USS Sisterhood front. I've seen.
Do tell.
We got a whole like bunch of episodes just dropped.
Okay, here's the thing, Jason. When you're transmitting from space, okay,
it takes a while.
It takes a while to get there. Yeah, exactly. Yes, you can find some new episodes of the USS Sisterhood in your podcast feeds, or a link to the podcast if you've never listened more than welcome to. You can find it at itsmemarissag.com. You can also find links to our YouTube. If you're listening just on your podcast, you can find our YouTube channel linked there as well, for the good pod. And then also I am on Whirlwind Podcast talking about Pretty Little Liars, one previously on at a time. And there are links there as well. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I've decided to sort of maybe use it for like my business. Maybe. Okay. I don't know. I talk a lot about like systems, which sounds boring, but I try to make it fun. Like I really do. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's me, marissag.com. I got some new stuff, or it's me, Marissa G on Instagram. I've got some new stuff going on there. So follow me in the places with the stuff and the things. Jason, what's going on with you over in Perfect Match land?
Yeah, you can find me and Alicia Will talk about the show Married at First Sight over on our podcast, A Perfect Match. We are exclusively on Patreon right now because there is no new season that's come out that we usually do on the Raw Pass Podcast Network. So we are revisiting old seasons of the show. We are in season 10, doing a rewatch of that. It is one of the better seasons of the show. So come on over to Patreon, patreon.com/perfectmatch podcast. $5 a month, get you a whole big catalog of our Married at First Sight rewatches, bonus episodes from season 19. If you like that show, you'll find a treasure trove of things over there for you to discover. That's pretty much it for me, Marissa. That's it for you. Sorry, Mar. Until you hear from me and Mar next time, stay good.